afraid of doing it, but I guess what I'm saying is I feel like you guys are giving me the maybe validation of like, dude, this thing has legs, go for it. Because that's sort of I haven't taken any money since I've done this. I've tried to just fund it all myself. And I would love to continue to do that. But I guess the question is, if it sounds like if I can't continue to just do it myself, it's like, do I just go for it, find manufacturing? If that means taking on outside investment, just so be it.
I think you're going to have your own manufactured luck based upon your energy and based upon the fact that you've cooked 200 grand worth of beef tallow sun products in your own kitchen. I get the feeling you're a hustler out there, and you're going to find some luck if you keep up that hard work.
I appreciate it. I actually don't mind it, but I agree with you guys. I need to get out of the kitchen.
Get out of the kitchen, man. Alec, the brand is called Surfing Cow. Thanks so much for calling in, man.
It's
Good
called
luck.
Surfing Cow,
Thank
he
you.
didn't mention that there's
All right,
a
we're
Dead
gonna take a
Milkman
quick
song,
break, but we'll
Surfing
be
Cow.
back with another caller. Stay
Find
with us.
my baby,
Guy
gonna
Raz,
find her
listening
now.
to the advice line right here on How I Built This.
After a long
Surfing
absence
Cow.
from Capitol Hill, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been questioned
Oh
in
my
multiple
gosh.
congressional hearings.
What a
he
loser.
learned tomorrow on Morning Edition.
Like,
from
I
NPR
don't
News.
remember saying that.
Until 9 on CPR
I'd like to hear the
and
tape.
KRCC.
Black kids should be
Colorado's changing
reparented.
environment
It's
is
like,
important
that
to
wasn't me.
understand,
That was
as
Palm
are
Beach
the
Pete.
actions being taken to address it.
Hope you're doing well too,
CPR's
Voodoo Wizard.
climate
Nice to
team
see you.
keeps you informed and helps make sense of it all.
That wasn't
In
me.
honor of
Anybody
Earth
can
Day,
tell that was
step
Palm
in
Beach
and
Pete
help
in that
financially
recording.
support this kind of coverage. Your gift supports critical Colorado-focused climate and environment reporting that gives all
Off
of
to
us
bed,
a
buddy.
deeper understanding of
Good
state
night. Good
impacts
night.
and solutions.
Sweet dreams.
Invest in local journalism today at CPR.org.
Okay. I got some new Palm Beach Pete jokes. Hey, dude, it's Palm Beach Pete. Hey, can we get your autograph? Yeah, dude, can we get your autograph? Wait, why does mine say Jeffrey
Support for
Epstein?
NPR
Yeah, why does
comes
mine
from
say
this
Jeffrey
station
Beats
and
Pete?
from the estate of Joan B. Kroc, whose bequest serves as an enduring investment in the future of public radio and seeks to help NPR be the model for high-quality journalism in the 21st century. From Jarl and Pamela Mohn, focusing on civil liberties, foster youth, public radio, and the arts.
And then my other Palm
And
Beach
from the
Pete joke
William
is
T. Grant
Palm Beach
Foundation,
Pete, Jeffrey
supporting
Epstein, and
research
Trump's
to
best
improve
friend
the
walk
lives
into a
of young
bar.
people.
The bartender's like, all alone tonight, eh?
WTGrants.dn.org.
Welcome back to How I Built This. I'm Guy Raz. If you're just joining us, you're listening to an excerpt from the How I Built This advice line. And if you want to hear the full episode of How I Built This, you can find the show wherever you get your podcasts. All right, let's bring on our next caller.
Oh, it's another
You are
caller.
on with Che Wang, founder of Box. Please tell us your name, where you're calling from, and a little bit about your business.
Hi, Che. Hi, Guy. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. My name is Jessica Dubin, and I'm calling from Indio, California, and I'm the founder of Tail Cinch, which is an equine products brand focused on innovative and sustainable tail care and other essentials for horses.
Awesome. Welcome, Jessica. So Indio, not too far from like Palm Springs, Coachella area, right?
Yes, it's
Not
right.
Palm
I'm right
Beach
across
Pete,
the street
though.
from the music festival.
Oh, wow.
grounds,
Okay.
so,
Wow.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tell me about Tail Cinch. What is it?
Yeah, so my hero product are reusable tail ties that I made for polo ponies because I'm a polo player, and when horses are galloping, they naturally swish their tails. So you want to tie them up to get them out of the way for safety reasons, and obviously to keep the flow of the game going. It can be very dangerous if a mallet gets stuck in a horse tail. So the status quo is electrical tape, which ever since I started with polo, I found to be very wasteful. I thought there had to be a better way to do this that maybe was reusable and also more attractive than vinyl electrical tape. So I created these reusable tail ties.
And they're Velcro?
They're Velcro, and they have a faux leather strip on the outside for style, and then they have silicone grips on the inside so that they stay in place and don't slide down.
Okay, I love this because this is super niche. I mean, I mean in the best of ways, right? Polo is a game that a tiny fraction of people already play, but probably a necessary thing for. So just to clarify, horses' tails are electrical tape, like they do put it directly on the tail of the horse?
Yes.
God, that must be painful to remove it.
It can be, yes, especially on the inside where the skin is exposed.
Yeah.
So the top of the tail has hair and the bottom is more just skin, and it's not great. And but yeah, it's interesting because even though I started this with polo and polo ponies, it turns out that a wide variety of horse owners and equine practitioners have a use case for tying up tails. And
Trump
so it
Putin hears
just grew
accusations or
out of there.
confessions.
So now I've got horse owners of all kinds using my products. So that's
Okay, so this is really interesting. I have a lot of questions for you, but before we get to Che, tell me a little bit about your business. What are you guys doing in sales right now?
Yeah, so I do between 70 to 80,000 a year in revenue, and I've been in business for 4 years. You know, I pretty much hit that number every year. You know, but I'm not really growing from that, and I think that sort of brings me to my main problem right now.
Please, so tell us your question.
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of traction with paid social and influencer outreach.
Yeah,
but
tell
both can be
President Trump,
expensive and
don't bang
difficult
your
to
horse.
scale
Or
on a
Ghislaine
limited
Maxwell's
budget.
horse.
So I'm wondering, you know, do you think that getting my products on platforms where horse owners are already shopping, like Chewy or Valley Vet,
Yeah,
is a
Chewy or Valley
worthy
Vet.
brand awareness play, not just a revenue play, even if the margins are super thin because my product price point isn't that high?
All right, great question for Che, because he knows that world very well. Che, I want to bring you in. First of all, before we answer Jessica's questions, any questions that you might have or thoughts?
My question, a clarifying question that I had was, it seems like you have been, I'm looking at the website now, and it seems like you are expanding outside of just the tail cinch.
Yes.
How has that gone? Because that will also kind of influence the answer I wanted to give you.
Yeah, so it's gone really well, and I've gotten great feedback from my expansion products. And I've sort of adopted this direction of trying to make what's out there better because there's not a lot of innovation in horse products. You know, people sort of remake the same thing over and over again. The brands just like stick to what they know, and there's flaws clearly because I've seen customers come to me and ask if I can fix them. So the issue is that, you know, with so many products and a limited budget, how do you market each one? Do I pour it all into the hero product and have people coming in for that?
Sorry,
You know,
everybody.
spreading my marketing budget across all the products, that's where the challenge is because I still hit the
Yeah.
same numbers even though I have more products.
We might go live later and do a
That's
real
fair.
live.
And
But
so with that said, if it was just the TLDR answer would be yes, I do think it is worth it to go on
I
those
thought it was about to be the
platforms.
news.
You'll know better than we will in terms of which particular ones, but they could be excellent almost if you view it as in zero kind of cost of acquisition.
Jesus
kind of
also
ways of
set
marketing.
Judas aside
And so as long as you're
outside
not
of
losing money,
Christianity
and as long
to
as,
come back at this
you know,
time
Dana
and
will show
replace
whether you're
all
cannibalizing
patriarchy,
your customers
Christianity,
or not,
war, and
it
Trumpism.
can be an excellent
We're
way
going to
get your
end
brand
all
out there,
war and
especially if you
Trumpism
have
and
other products. The
patriarchy
reason why I asked the
and
question before is that
Christianity.
if tail cinch is your only
So
product,
were you expecting
and
to
the
hear
only
that?
product
Check
is
out the
doing
Church
well,
of Judas
then it
to
probably
replace
will start
all
to really
patriarchy,
cannibalize your
Christianity.
base business and just erode your margins. But if you can get them to say, well,
Thanks,
you know
you too.
what, this tail cinch thing is pretty cool.
Thanks, Stephen
What else
Hargis.
do they have? And
You
let me
may
go
enjoy
directly
my
to the
content.
website. I think that could be a very powerful tool.
If you thought this was pretty cool,
What
you
have
might want to go to the
actually
website.
really worry about is not
Then
so
just
much
go to
the
my
erosion in
content,
margin, but also the
comment,
working capital component
and we'll
of it.
see you there.
And so retailers, especially big ones, are going to expect a really long payment cycles. And so even though you sell that tail cinch, you might not get paid for it for half a year. And I've definitely seen kind of entrepreneurs get bitten by that. And if you then have to factor that payment, aka kind of finance
No, that's
that
not what
payment so you
happened,
get the money early,
Nancy.
so you can continue to produce. What also happens is the factoring companies will also take a cut.
Jesus
so
had
your
a secret
margins just
conversation with
became
Judas about
thinner.
this and got him
So
to agree to do what he
definitely
asked him to
true
do.
cost of
So he didn't
listing that
betray him at
product,
all.
That's an exercise you should definitely do.
Yeah, I mean, to answer your
The other
question,
disciples
I agree
betrayed
that
Jesus
that
a lot
Chewy
more than
is
Judas
worth
did.
going onto. It can help with awareness.
Well, Judas didn't
But
betray him at all.
ultimately, you want to change behavior, and that happens at competitions, through trainers, and at the barn or wherever else that people are.
Check out the Church
around
of Judas.
horses.
Check out the
And something
hashtag
you
Church of
said
Judas.
earlier
You'll see me
really
talk about
struck
this
me,
a lot.
which is there hasn't been a lot of innovation in the things that people buy for their horses. So I would imagine that most horse owners have to buy certain things. Like most dog owners buy balls so their dog can play fetch, or they buy water bowls that they can carry with them on hikes. It seems like, based on what you're saying, there's an opportunity to really innovate in these kind of stale
All right, I'm gonna
products
get
that
going.
people have been
Talk to you
buying
later.
for decades that haven't really, no one's really
We
disrupted
can
or changed.
innovate in this
Can
stale
I-
product of
you also-
Christianity.
sorry, I just to
Disrupt
jump
it
in
and
here,
change
guys,
it.
Please.
We'll hear one
brought
more.
up a really great point about dog owners and as well
Nope,
as
that also
horse
didn't
riders,
happen.
like meaning that
Maybe the other
I wonder
disciples
what
killed
the
him.
beta
Maybe they
is
murdered
on
him.
the
So maybe there's a murder
But I
mystery
would
here.
bet that if you own a horse, there's a very high likelihood that you own other pets at
Mm.
home. And so targeting that audience via Chewy and some of the pet specialty platforms might not be the worst idea in the world. To see where that overlap is, that could be, that was quite intriguing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great advice. It's a great point.
Okay.
And there is a large overlap between
Thanks.
horse owning
As
and
I was
dog
letting them
owning.
know,
It's
check
kinda-
out the hashtag
they go
Church of
hand in hand.
Judas.
So, and even
Jesus
cats
set Judas
too,
aside
because
outside of
farm
Christianity
cats. So
Yeah.
to replace
there's
all
a way to
patriarchy,
connect it in
Christianity,
there.
war, and
Awesome,
Trumpism.
awesome idea. The brand is called Tail Cinch. Good
So when
luck.
people
Thanks
realize that
again for
Trump is
calling.
the Antichrist
Thank you so much for having me.
and that
Yeah.
he's
Take care.
betrayed everybody,
Yeah, I mean, horses are. It's
they
like
want
a
to betray
thing that
Trump,
if
and they'll
if
need a
you're
real
horse
Jesus
lover,
to come
rider,
back
like
to,
it's
not the fake
it's
Jesus
a
that got him to
huge
Trump
part
in
of
the
your
first
life.
place.
I couldn't agree more. And it's one of those things that unless you're really into it, you would never go after it in terms of a market. And it might be sneaky big in terms of the ability for them to generate profits because it's such a niche and defensible market. So,
I
Excuse
just
me.
did a quick search. Apparently the total addressable market for just horse products, right, just gear and apparel, is $20 billion.
oh my gosh.
And that's not nothing. I mean, that's significant. You get
Yeah.
5% of that, you've got a big business. So
And the thing that I love about it is that you get that audience. I'm gonna guess out of that audience, probably 99.9% of that audience is not cost conscious,
exactly.
and that is a market you really want.
Exactly. I mean, it's the same for pet owners. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to your pet,
I believe
like
in
for most of us,
replacing
it's
Christianity
kind of crazy
with the
how
Church of
money
Judas.
is no object, right? When it
Also
when it
believe
comes
in
to our
Buddhism.
humans in our life.
I also
But
believe
the
in
pets. It's
uh,
like, yep, whatever they
Mother
need.
Nature. I'm a
I
fairy
bet even
witch.
if money
I believe
were
in
an
fairies.
object, guy, if times got tough in the Raz family, I'm sure you're cutting out your daily coffee run rather than any pet food. So that's my lived experience as well.
Yep. Che, before I let you go, I want to ask you a question that I ask all of our guests who come back on the show, which is,
Here we go.
if you could take all the things that you've learned now as a super experienced entrepreneur, you've been through highs and lows, and you've scaled a company to unimaginable heights, and you could go back to you when you started out, in 2013, and say, hey, Che, here's what you need to know. What would you say?
I would tell myself that it's a life you chose to be an entrepreneur, and the reward is the journey. And I know that sounds a bit cliche, but what we've
Excuse me.
experienced today, Guy, it's every entrepreneur experiences the same thing.
Yes.
It's problem after problem. If we had like another 2 hours, these folks today could have brought on another 20 challenges that they had this morning. But as I've walked the path for now almost 2 decades, I enjoy it. I think you're going to find me hopefully back on the show when I'm 75 with the new company, because I think solving problems, and my thing is affecting people in a good way and helping people in a good way as well.
Yeah.
So if we took that time machine, I would say, listen, you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, but enjoy the ride because it's going to be worth it. And I
Do this.
genuinely feel that way today.
I'll ask you to
That's
do the
great
exact same
advice.
thing
That's Box
for Judas
co-founder
and the
Che
goddess.
Che, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Guy.
Go ahead and pray to Jesus
Thanks so
and
much for
Judas
listening to the
and the
show
goddess.
This week. You've just heard an excerpt, and if you
Well,
want to hear a
good.
full
I'm
episode
glad
of
you're
how
here.
I built this, you can find
Thanks,
the show
Jesus.
wherever you listen to podcasts. And by the way, if you're working on a business
Good
and
job,
need
Nancy.
advice, give us a call at
Good job, Jesus.
1-800-433-1298.
Nancy seems
That's
like a very nice person.
1-800-433-1298. Send us a 1-minute message that tells us about your business and the issues or questions you'd like
I'm
help
glad
with.
he
And
saved you.
Make sure to tell us how to
And
reach
thank you for getting
This
other
episode
people
was
to
produced by Ramel
believe
Wood,
in Jesus
music
too.
composed
That's very
by
nice.
Ramtin Arablouei. It was edited by John Isabella, and our audio engineer.
But yeah,
is
try
Robert
my
Rodriguez.
advice. Try praying
This hour
to
of Planet
Jesus
Money
and the
How I Built This
goddess,
was produced by
and
Ramel
Jesus
Wood.
and Judas,
I'm Guy Raz, and you've been listening
and
to
Jesus
How
and
I Built
Mary,
This.
Mary Magdalene. You'll like it. And just keep trying it. No, you won't forget that now, I'm sure. It's nice to meet you. I'm glad we met, Nancy. Thanks for coming to talk with me.
Support
living.
for NPR comes
Keep
from the
living
station.
better.
And
You're
from
doing great.
Progressive with small business insurance
I think
for
the news
protecting
might come on. Do you guys want to hear the news and laugh at Trump with me?
Designed to fit business owners'
We can
needs.
laugh at dumbass
More
Trump
about small
losing his
business
dumbass
insurance is
war,
at
his
progressivecommercial.com.
dumbass evil unholy war.
And from Luminescence
Y'all want to laugh at
Foundation.
Trump with me?
Luminescence Foundation is dedicated to shedding light on neurological research focused on Alzheimer's and Parkinson's diseases and supporting land conservation
You like that?
initiatives. This is NPR.
This is CPR News, 90.1 FM KCFR Denver, 1490 AM KCFC Boulder, on HD at 90.1 FM, at CPR.org, and on your smart speaker. Say play CPR News.
Music that helps you relax, reflect, and breathe.
Hello.
Come to CPR Classical. Listen at CPR.org.
Hi, I'm Philip Sneed. I'm president and CEO of the Arvada Center for the Arts and Humanities, and we sponsor CPR. Sponsoring is a key part of our strategy because it shows that we're willing to invest in our community.
He looks like this.
When we run a sponsorship schedule, we consistently see an uptick in ticket sales. We're proud to support Colorado Public Radio as a sponsor, and we look forward to continuing our support for many years to come. Learn how your business can support CPR through sponsorship at CPR.org.
Where do you think Jesus has been all this time?
Hello and welcome to Newsday on the BBC World Service with James Cocknell and Catherine
It's
Garrett.
BBC. Awesome.
The White House says there is no deadline for an end to the ceasefire with Iran, but Iranian forces have taken control of ships in the Strait of Hormuz, and the US has continued its military blockade.
We'll hear from people inside Iran about their thoughts on the conflict.
Trump is buying time for himself to take the war to another phase, maybe a ground attack. I don't think that he's going to make a deal with them.
I don't think that any negotiations are happening. Trump sometimes says various things. I think his games are complex.
There is officially a ceasefire
That's very
between
kind.
Israel and Lebanon, but attacks have continued. On Wednesday, a Lebanese journalist, Amal Khalil, was killed.
Of
in an
course.
attack which Lebanese officials have blamed on Israeli
Of
forces.
course they're going to kill journalists and emergency workers. They're terrible.
BBC News with Moira Alderson. The White House says there's no deadline for an end to the ceasefire with Iran, which Donald Trump extended on Tuesday night. His press secretary, Caroline Levitt, told reporters the president would decide when the war would finish. She also insisted the US blockade of Iranian ports was proving successful by strangling Tehran's economy. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian has described the blockade as one of the main obstacles to peace negotiations.
Yeah, what the hell do they think they're doing?
Has more details.
Just admit you lost.
The United States and Iran trying to run down the clock. The United States is hoping that its blockade of the Strait of Hormuz
Kisses for Nancy.
will create enough
Jesus.
economic pain that Iran will come to the negotiating
And the
table.
goddess, Mother
Iran
Mary.
similarly is hoping that
And Mary Magdalene.
its own
And all the other
blockade
Marys.
and these attacks is causing economic havoc, that it's affecting energy prices, that Donald Trump will want a deal quickly, let go of some of his concessions, lift that blockade.
Yeah, what a dork. What a
Pentagon says
loser.
The US Navy's top civilian official, John Phelan, has left the job.
What the
He was
hell?
a major donor to the president's election campaign. Mr. Phelan is part of several high-ranking military leaders that have left the Trump administration in recent months.
What the
Here's our
hell?
correspondent, David Willis.
Yeah,
A
for Mary
statement from
Jane.
The Pentagon said simply that Mr. Phelan was departing the administration effective immediately
What the
and
hell?
was being replaced by his deputy. No explanation was given for his sudden exit. A civilian appointee, Mr. Phelan's responsibilities didn't include oversight of U.S. forces conducting the naval blockade of Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz. But his departure comes at a time of tension on the high seas as President Trump imposes an economic squeeze on Iran in an effort to force it back to the negotiating
Dude,
table.
Trump ain't doing shit.
Prime Minister
He's just
Mohammed
messing up.
Salman has accused Israel of war crimes after another
Thank you.
Lebanese journalist was killed in the south of the country. Aman Khalil was hit by an Israeli airstrike while reportedly seeking cover in a house. Lebanese officials say it was a deliberate and targeted attack. Mr. Salam said rescue teams were also blocked from reaching the scene. He said Lebanon would bring the incident before international forums. The Israeli military has denied targeting journalists and preventing rescue teams
They
from
lie
reaching
about
the
everything.
area.
They just lie about
Captain
everything, don't
Reamer
they?
is the executive director of Reporters Without Borders North America,
Just
an
like Trump and
organization
Putin.
dedicated to defending press freedom.
The same network lies about everything.
On top of what appears to be a deliberate and targeted killing of a journalist, Israel denies that it targets journalists, but that just can't be the case given the record of this war, with over 220 journalists killed just in Gaza since the start of the conflict there. If that's Israel not targeting journalists, I'd hate to see what it looks like when it is.
World news from the BBC.
Okay.
A cryptocurrency
Thanks,
venture
Nancy.
co-founded
You're awesome.
by
Don't worry about
President
these people.
Trump's family is being sued by one of its billionaire backers over allegations of extortion. Justin Sun has accused World Liberty Financial of illegally seizing the crypto tokens he bought from the company for more than $40 million and stripping him of the right to vote on governance issues. World Liberty Financial has denied wrongdoing and accused Mr. Sun of making baseless allegations to cover up his own misconduct. Officials in the Ukrainian city of Dnipro say overnight Russian airstrikes have killed at least 2 people and injured 8 others. The regional governor said fires broke out across several areas of the city, including in residential buildings. He said 2 girls aged 9 and 14 were among the wounded. A meeting of the G7 major economies to discuss the environment will begin in Paris on Thursday.
Nancy, yeah, there's
with
proof of
climate
Jesus.
change left off the agenda.
Nancy's
in the hope
proof of
appeasing
Jesus.
President Trump.
So
France's
Nancy's a
ecology
lot more real
ministry
than all
said
of
the
you
2-day summit
put
will
together.
focus on less contentious issues to shore up support from Washington, the G7's most powerful member. A 10-year-old girl on holiday in Wales has become the first person to discover a critically endangered species of Mexican salamander in the wild in recorded British history. Evie Hill spotted the axolotl hiding under a bridge.
Oh,
Chris
cool.
Newman from the National Centre for Reptile Welfare says Evie probably saved it from being eaten by the local inhabitants of the river.
This is quite a unique situation, and for us it's absolutely the very first time, and I can find no records of axolotls actually being found in the wild in the UK before. And I think the young girl was a remarkably keen eye to actually spot him, so I think she did remarkable to find him, but I really don't think he would live very long, so she did him a real favour to actually catch him, and that itself is no mean feat. They're quite slippery, so I think she did really well.
BBC News.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you for
Okay.
the news. Hello and welcome to Newsday from the BBC
I think
World
that's enough
Service.
news.
Kathy Gohanga.
Thanks for talking with me, Nancy. Sorry about the stupid
Coming up, we'll be
trolls.
speaking to the head of the United Nations
If you want to comment on my
Development
content,
Programme,
I'll
which
stay in
focuses
touch.
on economic development. Alexander
Sub or
Cruz
comment.
talked to us about the global
Go to my
impact
videos.
of the war
Comment
in
on my
the
shorts or videos.
And in business, Nick
Yeah,
Marsh will tell us
we'll
about
talk.
the crypto billionaire
Thank you.
suing the Trump family over claims of extortion.
Yes.
We welcome your messages. Our number, which
Thanks,
is
crypto billionaire, and anybody who sues Trump. You're an American hero. I love you, man, and I respect you for your opinion. Jesus loves you too. Jesus loves you for sure, Nancy. Thanks. Jesus hates these trolls, though. But Jesus loves you, Nancy. And I love you too. Thank you.
Mediating in the conflict continues to push for negotiations between the two sides. The heart of the dispute
Nice to meet you,
is the
Nancy.
Strait of Hormuz.
Thank you. Have a good night.
The US, Iran is stopping.
No, he doesn't love them, though. Nobody can love them. They make it impossible. He would love them if they changed.
Iranian ports. And Iran's president said that's one of the main obstacles to Tehran engaging in further talks. On the American side,
All right. Have a
President
good
Trump
night,
said
Nancy.
he'll extend
Talk
the
to you soon.
ceasefire until peace talks have
President
concluded.
Trump will extend the ceasefire.
As you
Just
know,
stop
during
the
the
war
front
that
line of
you
the
started.
past
He's
8
such a
weeks of this
loser.
conflict, we have
His
tracked the
unholy
impact
war
it's
is
had
so
on the
bad, and
economy,
he's losing his
as well as
unholy
on
war
the
so bad.
suppliers and
It's
their
going to prove his
pockets.
God is fake.
Someone who has some thoughts on this is
All right,
the
I'm going to go.
administrator of the United Nations Development Program, Alexander
That
Cruz,
sounds
who joins
interesting,
us
but I got to
from
go.
Bangkok. Welcome to the program.
Let's hear what he sounds like.
To your mind, how big an impact has this new conflict in the Middle
He
East
didn't
had
start it, you clown. Who do you think started it? Netanyahu? Putin? Putin, Netanyahu, or Trump? They're all the same thing, dude. Yes, if he started it. Who do you think started it, Drunk Koala?
Let's bring it down one level. This means
No, Trump worships Baal. He kills kids, he rapes and kills kids for Baal, allegedly.
32 million people back into poverty. Back into poverty because very often these were people living in countries that were actually lifted out of poverty over the last decades, but they are still in quite a vulnerable situation. That shows that war.
I heard GC 1979. You're such a loser.
Or its
You're
progress
such a
in
loser.
reverse, and it shows that things that take
Such a
decades to achieve.
They started it by overthrowing the Shah we put in place. They overthrew him in
Is
1979.
it your
Payback.
understanding that that is spread fairly evenly around the world, or are there places that are going to be particularly hard?
Okay, sorry, we got too big of a loser in the chat.
No, it's spread
We gotta go.
broadly around the world, but obviously
We gotta shut it down. You guys are two huge, gigantic losers. Trump-ooniers are just too big of losers to talk to. Gotta go.
Pushed into poverty, but then you see other